Hello. It's something different, something spooky. It's Halloween. Wait, how can I do this where it's not blocking me? I'll just throw it down here. Hey everybody, I'm watching Invisible Invaders. Never seen this film. And I got a few questions right off the bat. You know, they're invisible. They're on the moon. They want to invade the Earth unless they make peace with them. And John Carradine goes, "We have been studying your planet for thousands of years." And is it that he's been studying their planet for thousands of years, or he has been studying the planet's 1,000-year history? It cracks me up because I don't know. It's so melodramatic. I believe John Agar's in here. John Carradine is in it, and I thought he was just a cameo because right at the very beginning he blows up. The invisible invader takes over his body. Anyway, I'm getting back to this. I just kind of took off my headphone, although I'm hearing it through this headphone yet. As you can see, I'm still watching it. And in the back, my monitor is working on something else, so I don't know when this will go up. It'll definitely not go up tonight, the 3rd. No, the 2nd. What is today? Yesterday was... It's the 2nd. I just thought I'd pop in. This might be a running commentary, since lately I'm not going to be doing... showing scenes of the movie. Damn copyright crap, man, you know? Anyway, we'll talk later. Happy Halloween! Hello, I'm back with spooky lighting. Cheap lighting. Because I don't want to put the big light on. I'm using the handle. I'm holding the candle. Yeah, I'm enjoying this frickin' movie, man. It's not ingenious, but it is kind of genius. It's like, we're going to invade your Earth, but we're invisible, and you can't find us to stop us. And we're going to take over your dead people. We're going to kill your people. And then we're going to take over their bodies and give our message. And then we're going to bring them back to life. Because there are a couple people in like I believe it was like a football stadium or a hockey stadium. Well, there was a hockey stadium. But then there was one like the Olympics. It was a gigantic crowd. And they strangled these people, and they talked over the loudspeaker, "We're gonna take over." And then the door opened, it was invisible, they left, and the guy was okay. So I don't know. But John Agar has just joined the film, and as a military man who's going to help them out. But one thing that I just have to say right off the bat, I love their shuffling feet. You know, it's like nobody can see them, but if they look down at the ground, they can see the dirt moving, because they don't pick up their feet when they walk. They just shuffle. It causes these little piles of dirt to move in front of where they're apparently walking. It's just so great. All right, I'm going back to it. Bye, spooky lighting, Halloween. Dead guy falls into a pit of acrylic and comes out as a mannequin tied up. Wow, this was a treat, everybody. Hey, everybody, it's old Roger D. from Channel Downstar on his 31 Days of B-Movie Horror Halloween watch. This was a treat. This was really fun. I had never seen Invisible Invaders. I thought it was the movie with Peter Graves and the big bug-eyed aliens. You know, he's the pilot that's stuck in the cave with the giant monsters. And I think that movie's called Phantoms from Space? Phantom from Space? I'm not sure. We'll get to it eventually because I do want to watch that one eventually. Invisible Invaders. Wow. As I was jumping in there with my spooky mulberry candle, I love the smell of mulberry, lighting. I've always loved mulberry, and I have loved vanilla candles. I don't know what it is, but when I get that scent in my, well, it used to be my basement. Now it's my apartment. I would love it. I love the smell. And mulberry is very enjoyable. So every time I was doing the thing, I was like, this is good. This is so good. Anyway, Invisible Invaders, my God. It says in the opening credits John Agar is in there, and he doesn't show up until maybe the first 15 minutes. Again, most of these B movies are very short. This was only like about an hour and 7 minutes, which again you can watch. They're fleeting. But you know what I have to say about this movie, Invisible Invaders? There is so much jam-packed story in there. Not necessarily good story, but there's so much in there that it feels much longer than it is. John Agar. The first thing I'd have to say is during the opening credits, I immediately recognized the musical score. I cannot think of the name of the composer. I will mention him later throughout the month because this is a score that I've heard so many times in so many B movies. And the very first time I've ever heard it was in one of my favorite B movies called Destination Inner Space, which is a really cheap sea monster type movie. And then I heard it in Angry Red Planet. Dun, 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 boom, 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 boom. And it was in the opening credits. I was like, oh. And throughout this entire movie, they're playing that. Da, 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 da. I'm just laughing. I had a beer and I had some popcorn and I enjoyed Invisible Invaders. Story is very ridiculous, like I was saying in the little snippets I did right at the beginning there. Aliens are going to destroy the Earth. They are invisible. You can't see them, so we're going to come down unless you change your ways and sacrifice yourself to us. And it's up to John Agar and the others to stop them. And what they do is as ghosts, as these invisible invaders, they get into the bodies of dead people and they spread their message. and it's very there's a lot of very similar Night of the Living Dead type shots where you have hillsides of the dead just walking, and it's like, oh, the aliens are coming, and they're like, you know, but there's a hell of a lot of narration in this film. I mean, there are things going on where it's like, okay, we got to do this, and then they show like a scene of the truck driving, going to a lab or something, and the narration's like, they needed to find the right way to destroy the aliens. They are hoping that they will be able to use the technology in this lab. And it's like explaining stuff that you don't need to explain. which makes it a B movie, a great B movie. I said John Agar. John Agar, gosh, this is 2 nights in a row I watched a John Agar movie. I've seen John Agar in all the B movies, all these. And then there's a fantastic film called Miracle Mile, where it's kind of like the bombs are going to be dropped and it's the end of the world. And he must have been, I believe, in his 90s when they shot this, and they have him and another actress. And I remember him from that more than I do from these B movies. And now that I'm watching him in 2 of them, and there's going to be a whole bunch that he's in that I'm planning to watch this month, he's really so charismatic. I mean, he's he's kind of like the Bruce Willis of B movies. He really is, because he's always the hero. In this, he's in the outfit and he's going out using this sound gun that he has to keep turning up to make the aliens leave, and the radiation suit, and he's the Bruce Willis of the B movie movies. That'll be my quote. Robert Hutton is another actor who I remember a lot from the Slime People, which we'll be watching. And he was also in Trog, from what I understand. Although I don't recognize him from Trog. It's been a long time since I've seen Trog, the Joan Crawford Neanderthal movie. But and I can't think of the girl's name. Her name's Jane something. There's a scene where Hutton and Agar are fighting at the end, and they just cut to her just standing there going, ah. It doesn't mean anything. I'll probably try to throw a clip in here. She's like, ah. And another thing about a lot of these B movies is it seems like all the doctors, everybody wears a white lab coat. I have a feeling I'm going to see a lot of people in white lab coats throughout this month. But anyway, like I said, I mean, they devise a plan to draw these invisible invaders out of the dead people by using sound, by using loud noises, and they devise a gun in like a minute. Even though it's like, how did you make that so fast? They have like 30 minutes before they're going to destroy the Earth, but yet within that time they create this gun, this noise gun, and it has a dial on the side. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I was waiting for them to get to 11. You got to go to 11, and then it kills them. Gosh, like I said, there's a lot of narration in here. It was a lot of fun watching it. I've never seen this one. I thought it was, by the name, I always thought it was another movie. But it wasn't, and we'll get to that Peter Graves movie later, because I love those big ping pong ball eye monsters with the hoodies. But anyway, this was fun. This was fun. So, night number 2, B-movie, 31 nights, 31, what is this called? It's the 31 B-movie Halloween viewing. 31 nights of B-movie horror. Invisible Invaders. I believe it's 1959. I believe last night's was 1959. I'm sure we're going to go earlier. And I was thinking, I'm thinking about this, and I'm going, you know, am I going to go into the 60s and do some color films? I think I'm just going to try to stay in the black and white, bug-eyed monster, giant monster, you know, Giant Claw, Deadly Menace, them type of movies. I think I'm going to stay down in that decade. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll jump ahead. But I just wanted to, I just wanted to pop in here. This is the video for now. It's old Roger D on Channel Downstar watching the second movie in his 31 days of B-movie horror Halloween, Invisible Invaders. See it if you've never. As I'll say with all these movies, get some beer, get some popcorn or pizza, and like I said, they're a little over an hour long. They're not even an hour and a half long. They're hour 5 minutes, hour 3 minutes. They're very short. Throw a couple on and have yourself a good time. All right, everybody, it's all Roger D for Channel Downstar saying goodbye. I'm gonna try to say this every video. Vince, I miss you, man. All right, this is for you, B-Moviecast. Check it out. We'll see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.